Looking for a great place to hang out, eat a delicious meal, and have a drink? The Jetty in Brant Rock is the place to be. The Jetty has all the makings of a great time and features live music and entertainment for you to enjoy. The Jetty. Eat, drink, chill.
From Marshfield Community Media, this is the Ram Report, a series of programs from the Marshfield High School athletic programs. Today, we're fortunate to have with us the senior class from the boys varsity hockey team, and we are lucky to have with us a whole group of folks. And first shift that's come through are the seniors, and we're going to follow that up with the next wave of class, senior class that will be coming through. And following that, we'll have Coach Connolly in. My name is David Snow. Happy to have you here with us today. This program comes to us through the good graces of the Jetty. A little out of practice here. And so now that I've taken all the heat off of you guys, Connor Merrick, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Yep. I'm happy to have you with me. And if you wouldn't mind talking about the person to your left, maybe who he is, and one word that you'd associate with his style of play.
It's Jake Hemingway. He's our captain. And one word, I don't know. There's a lot of words.
You throw anyone out there. I put you on the spot.
Hard worker, but like that's
all right.
words.
That's good. That works. Hard work works. All right, Jake.
Next to me, I got Brady our backbone to our team. Did a lot for us this year. Kept us in many games. One word I would use to describe him is determined.
Very good.
Next to me is Nate O'Brien, defenseman number 2. He's a hard worker, but the word I'd use to describe him is long reach. He's got a mean poke check. He's always breaking up plays. Very
good. And so, again, thanks guys for being here. We clearly you had a great season. A lot of things went on from when you were back here in the fall. What stands out to you, Connor, from the season? Like, what jumps out when you just think about the season as a whole? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I would have to say the amount of wins we had this year was just outstanding. How many wins? Quack got a lot of shutouts out there. I think we just dominated everything, like all the Patriot League, just everything.
Yep, good answer. Jake?
I'm not going to say any particular game, but I'm just going to talk about the boys and the bond we created this year. We all tight. We did everything together. We all had each other's backs, and we all support each other. And I think that was the biggest part to our success this year.
Great answer. Brady?
I agree with Jake. I think as a team, we're all just really tight-knit this year. Really close group. And then we also worked really hard at practice every day.
Nate, a lot of pressure to be fourth, but I know you got it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could pinpoint a lot of different parts of the season, but the one thing I'll remember is the friendships that I made with all 3 of these guys up here, and then the other 25 or however many on our team.
So just to mix it up a little bit, I'm going to come right back to you, Nate, and just ask you specifically around the Fenway experience.
Yeah.
Like that was something unique, something I'm sure years from now you're going to look back on.
Oh, absolutely.
What surprised you about it, if anything? What'd you learn, and what was that experience like?
It was a crazy experience. I mean, like 2 weeks earlier, we were watching the Winter Classic. The Bruins are playing there, and then you walk out of that dugout, and now we're playing Hingham there. So, never even when I was a freshman, I would have never thought my senior year we would have been playing at Fenway against Hingham. So, incredible experience.
That's great. And Brady, what's it like to be between the pipes at Fenway? And what's the sight line like for a goalie playing at that time of night? Was it just like anywhere else?
It's definitely surreal being in net. It kind of hit you as soon as you walked out the dugout and looked around and saw where you were and took it all in. The sight line is definitely a little different to what I was used to from the lights, but I mean, that's not really what was going through your head at that point. You're just kind of taking everything in and enjoying the moment.
Just coming right back at you, like, could you pick up the puck well? Was it more difficult because of the lighting?
I thought it was all right. There might have been a small glare, but overall it was well. I thought I saw the puck well.
Yeah. Jake?
I mean, I think the best part was playing our biggest rival. I mean, we go neck and neck with Hingham every year. We're always battling it out. And I mean, we grew up playing with a lot of those kids. We made friendships actually this past year, playing with 2 Hingham kids in our club team during the fall. So just being able to play against your buddies is always great because it's just fun when you're out there. You get to make some jokes because it's just like it was a scrimmage, but we still like to compete, so it was fun. It was a good
that was
time.
played at a high level, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you emptied the bench at times, but it seemed to be played by both teams. Nobody wanted to come up short, right?
Yep.
It was a great game and played right to the end. And very different playing for an hour. And it was pretty cold up where I was, so it had to be pretty cold on the ice. Connor, talk to me for 1 second about your experience there at Fenway. Like, what'd you pick up on? What'd you notice in the locker room coming out?
I just thought, like, right when I came out, right on the ice, I just thought it was amazing. Like, and, like, just to know that we're playing Hingham. Like, we just played Hingham, like, a couple weeks back. We tied them. So I just thought it was going to be a crazy game. And it was. And, yeah, it was just crazy.
Yeah. And what was the condition of the ice like?
It was good at the end. I mean, at the beginning. At the end, it started to get snowy. You know, it started, like, the puck wasn't moving that well, but it's whatever. Yeah.
Well, I could talk about this. I could go on with it, but I'm just gonna. You guys had a great year. Kind of rolled through the league. Had some long winning streaks. Had some success at the Burns tournament. But when you get down to the state tournament, Brady, I'm going to come to you. What jumps out to you right away when you think about the tournament, and how does it feel as compared to last year, for example?
I think it's just the focus everybody has when they show up to the rink. They know it's just not a normal game. There's more behind it, lose and go home. We all showed up ready to go. There's great support from the fans, and you could just tell that it was a playoff atmosphere at the Bog.
Jake?
I mean, yeah, it's tough when you enter your senior season and it goes by very quick, but all you want to do when you're a senior especially is you want to go out there and dominate. And first 2 games we battled to 1-0 wins, but the first game we controlled most of the game because we all wanted it. We wanted to win. We wanted to keep going. The second game, it was back and forth the whole way. Thank God we had Quack over here. Made a couple huge saves at the end there, and we found a goal late in that third because we wanted to outwork teams. We wanted it more than the other teams. But sadly, Pope, if I could take back 7 minutes of my life, I would, because we got outworked for the first 7. They went up 3-0, and we dominated the rest of the game, and we fell short 3-2.
Yeah, the thing about that game, watching from where I was, is they wanted to get out of there. At the end, they were back on their heels, and they didn't want any part of you, for the end of the game. So, it was a great effort. Connor, what's your first memory? I mean, I like to watch you just lay somebody out because I can see it coming from a mile away. But what are the things you remember about tournament time?
Yeah, the hitting's fun, especially in playoffs. It's much more louder when you hit someone. But yeah, just the first 2 games, playing them at the Bog, having your own locker room, just to get settled in there. Everyone's focused. And just the student section, we had a good student section at Pope. And the first 2, the Bog, they were huge there, so shout out to them. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, the Bog was a great place to call games from. I don't want you to badmouth another rink, but was the Bog experience everything you wanted it to be this year in your last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was great for us having our own locker room. It really helped not having to bring home our stuff every day.
Yeah.
It was easy just coming to practice and having everything there already.
So I'm going to hand you guys a softball now. I'm going to start with you, Nate. We haven't talked about the Green Cup or what I would call some dominance over your next town rival. What were those games like for you as a senior?
Well, Duxbury had a really good team this year. Went to the Final Four in Division II. So, and I mean, it's a rivalry game. They're going to come up flying. We're going to come up flying. So they're fun games to play in. I mean, the Green Cup, 1-0 win, battle. But those are the kind of games you look forward to when you get the schedule in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So,
Brady?
Yeah, well, we played them a week or 2 earlier, and we beat them 4-0, but we knew that they're going to come back stronger, and it was not going to be a 4-0 game again.
Yep.
This time it was a dogfight, but we knew that this was the last time we would get to play Duxbury as seniors, so I think we kind of used that to fuel us, and we dug it out and got the win.
You guys all seem to get up for big games, and look at you, Jake, because that's where the question's going. But both for Connor and you first, Jake. You guys get up for big games. Is that the one you get up for the most? Is there a level that you take it to?
I mean, definitely, because no matter what, if like Duxbury's having a bad season or we're having a bad season any year, it's still going to be a wicked close game. You're going to battle until it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, you just want to wake up and go out there and work your absolute butt off every time you're on the ice, because if you lose Duxbury, then you just want the year to be over, pretty much.
You took care of that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So Connor, when you're a physical player, Jake, you are as well. Nate, you are as well. Brady doesn't get the opportunity, but I'm sure he would be too. But Connor, when you're playing in a game like that, are you going out and just playing your game as you would any other time, or do you want to lay somebody out early and set a tone?
I think laying the body early just really gets the boys going, you know.
Yep.
It even gets me going even more, just seeing someone fly. It's always fun to see that too. But yeah, this year playing them was kind of different because obviously we went to the bog, so it was kind of like we were fighting over the rink, so we won it over.
It's like ripping down their flags, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So thank you. Those are great answers. Bringing it to less about the games, more about your experience here at the high school. I'm going to come to you, Brady. What do you wish someone had told you upon arrival at Marshfield High, whether with the hockey program or just going through the 4 years at the school?
Wish somebody would have told me to just appreciate every moment. I mean, the best part of going to practice every day was getting to sit in the locker room with your friends and enjoy that time with them, and then hit the ice and have fun with them. And now as a senior graduating, those are the things that I'll miss the most. Obviously you miss playing and winning big games, but really the little things are the things that make it so special.
Yeah. Jake, anything you can add to that?
Yeah, I'm going to add on to him a little bit. It's more like I wish I was told to not take it for granted, which I was, but I never really listened, because as a freshman you think you have a bunch of time, but you really don't realize how fast it goes by until you're sitting in the spot we are today. I mean, It flies by and it's crazy.
Yeah, and you guys went to school in such a strange time too, right? Like you've endured a pandemic and masks and no masks, and so something that
it's been a roller coaster.
Unique. So Connor, I'm going to change it for Connor and Nate just slightly. What will you miss the most about both the school itself and the program?
I would say probably like the pasta parties before games. That was like my favorite about hockey. Well, one of the things about hockey. But yeah, just like the whole team getting together, just having some pasta, some other food. I think it's really a nice bonding time with like your friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll definitely miss, the coaching staff. I think they're always trying to help us, but really what I will miss the most is sitting in the locker room with your best buddies before practice, after practice, before games, after games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well said. Well, you guys have accomplished a lot over the course of your time here at the high school and within the hockey program. You've definitely taken it to another level. When I watched previous episodes just to prepare, Brady, you said last year you were hoping to just take it another step further. You certainly did that. You guys have a lot to be proud of. Just to take it to a less sentimental note, NHL playoffs are coming up. Nate, I'm looking right at you. Who's going to win the Stanley Cup?
Hard not to say the Bruins, I think.
All right, if it isn't the Bruins, who's going to win it?
Can't poke the bear.
I'm going to go with the Oilers.
Oh, wow. Big offensive showing.
Yeah.
Also have to agree, hard to root against the Bees, but I think it's going to come down to them and Carolina in Eastern Conference Finals. I think whoever comes out of that is going to win the Cup, so if the Bees don't come out of that, I think it would be Carolina.
Yeah. You can say the Bees, too. I just know. I had a strong feeling it would run across.
I'm going to do the opposite of Brady here. I'm going to say the Rangers.
Yeah.
Picked up Kane Tarasenko at the deadline. Looking pretty deadly right now.
Yeah. Good call.
I'm just going to have to say the Bruins. I don't really watch the NHL that much, but yeah, they're pretty good. So I'm going to go with them.
All right. Well, guys, your shift is up here. Thank you so much for coming on. You guys have done this a couple times. We appreciate you coming in each time. Nate, I didn't even know you because last time you had a hat on. So, but thank you for taking the time with us. You guys have a lot to be proud of, and I know the town, has your back now. They'll be happy when you're graduating, and we'll be proud of you whatever you do next. So thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking for a great place to hang out, eat a delicious meal, and have a drink? The Jetty in Brant Rock is the place to be. The Jetty has all the makings of a great time and features live music and entertainment for you to enjoy. The Jetty. Eat, drink, chill.
We are back with the Ram Report with the Marshfield Rams varsity hockey team. 2022-2023 campaign, successful season. We've got the next wave, second line of the next wave coming through here. The man between the pipes, Kevin Murphy. Kevin, thanks for being with us this afternoon, and if you wouldn't mind introducing the person to your left.
This is Jack Croft, and he's extremely gritty.
Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, Murph. I appreciate that. This is Jake Reisman. He's tough and hardworking.
This is Arnaud. He's definitely a fast player. He got hurt mid-season, but he bounced back. It was great.
Thanks, Reese.
Will, thanks for being with us. You can get a chance to toss it to somebody else. So I'm just going to start with you, and then I'm going to come back this way. So, Jake, you'll be next. So when you look back on the season, obviously a big junior year for you. What jumps out to you, first of all?
It's got to be how well the leaders coach us throughout the year. Big part in our finals run, and got to credit to them to the great season.
Great. Jake?
we had one of the top goalies in our net, and our coaching staff is unbelievable. They're putting crazy amounts of hours into the work they're doing, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
I would have to say this year, I think we all played our best year so far, so made some good memories for all of us around here, I'd say. So, yeah, that's about what I have to say.
And Kevin?
The focus and effort of this group is just insane and unmatched, in my opinion.
And that kind of holds everybody up to a high bar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to come right back to you, Kevin. When you think about next year, what are your own goals for next year, and what will you do to prepare for next year? And I'll go to you, Jack, right after that.
Perfect.
My own goals for next year is to always just keep the team within reach of winning each game one by one, and not to always think ahead, but to just in the moment. Yeah.
Yep. Jack?
Next year, I plan on going to college, and I want to come back and see my boys, Murph and Arnone over here, play some hockey.
And Jake, I know that we had to mix things up
Yep.
because you're a busy guy. You're pulling down school and a work schedule. What was your experience like this year when you compare it to the previous seasons for you?
This group was just so tight. We were doing everything together. We're hanging out after school, before practice, after practice, and I just think that helps on and off the ice when we're that close, because our chemistry on the ice is just that much better.
Great. Will?
Yeah.
For you, so just to reframe it, your goals for next year, and what you personally will do to improve.
Yeah, I just want to prepare, be able to play any position I can, be the best player I can at the position, and just help out the team in any way I can.
That's great. That's a coach's dream answer right there. So in terms of playing at Fenway Park, I'm going to start with you, Jake.
All right.
Freezing cold night, you get off a bus, I'm assuming, and you walk into some makeshift locker room. What was the experience like for you?
No words can describe it. It's you're going on the same ice that the Bruins played on, the MLB's playing on. It's just, you look up and you just see the fans, and you're in a stadium. It's a massive outdoor stadium. It's crazy.
And just to jump it around a little bit, Kevin, as a goalie, you go out there and for warm-ups, pucks are coming at you. What are you thinking? Is it the same thought process as every other game?
Definitely the end goal is the same mindset as every game, but it's just so much different. You're used to seeing like stands and like people there, but you're just seeing like nothing. And it's just mind blowing.
And so I asked Brady the same question. Were you able to pick up the puck the same way you would anywhere else, or was it a little more difficult with the lighting?
Yeah, it was definitely not the same, but it wasn't like as bad as you might think.
Yeah. Jack, what'd you think?
I think it was just an awesome experience. When I had heard about it, I didn't think it would happen. And then all of a sudden, I'm playing in the same place that I've seen a World Series get won, 10 years ago? So it was just awesome.
That's great. That's great. Will?
Yeah, I mean, just being able to walk out there and see like the green monster and everything, it's pretty crazy. And being able to like touch the ice and just take it all in with everyone was awesome.
And when you think about the state tournament itself, Will, I'll just stay with you. What jumped out to you about that? Was there a marked difference the minute you step on the ice against Needham?
Just like the resilience we had throughout all the games. We could get pushed down, but we always came back up and we found a way.
Jake, you've had the good fortune of playing in a few state tournament games at this point. Like, how was this year any different if it was, and what did it feel like for you?
I mean, you never really know what you're going to walk into going to the playoffs. Every team, like, their record's not showing what they're playing during playoffs. So we went in just not knowing what's going to happen. We just played our best. And, I mean, it came to an end a little short, but we had a good ride.
And Jack, what did it feel like for you from Needham game right through?
For me, it's very stressful, but our coaches and our teammates help us deal with that stress so that we can go out there and play our best game and hopefully go all the way. This year it came up short, but hopefully these guys next year make it all the way.
Yeah, and Kevin, you get to take your bite at the apple in a big way next year. What do you most look forward to about being a leader in between the pipes?
Yeah, definitely huge shoes to fill, but I look forward to just taking it day by day, really just trying my hardest and to put us in a good position to win every game possible.
And just coming right back at you, what did you learn specifically from Brady and the coaching staff that is making you an improved player every year?
Brady just gives his all 110% of the time in practice, and it just goes to show me that you can't just try in games. You have to put it all into practice as well, not all games.
Jack, you've been part of a strong leadership group. What advice would you give to these guys that are coming behind you? And that you played some big games over the years here.
Yeah.
Like, what do you pass on to these guys?
Don't let your senior season fly by, because it feels like yesterday that tryout started. So
yeah,
take in every moment, boys.
And Jake, very similar. You've played big games, had a lot of big moments. What can you tell these guys?
Along with what Crofty said, it flies by, but also, you can't be going into games scared. You just need to be ready and know, what's ahead of you in the road that you're going to be going towards during playoffs.
Yeah, and responsibility will come with the year that you'll be in next year. What have you picked up from your captains, from Jake specifically, from your senior leaders? And I say Jake, that can be Reisman, that can be Hemingway. What have you picked up?
I picked up just make sure everyone feels like they're at home. We're all just trying to be brothers out there, be able to play together with anyone, just being tight knit, being the best character you can.
Very good. Jake, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to your mom, who does unbelievable work in support of the team, and anytime you ask her for anything, she's got a roster for you. Oh. So hello to Stacy, and thanks for all the hard work. I'll go to some more trivial stuff in a second, but before I do, what can you say about the support that you guys got during the season, during the tournament, from your fellow students and the town itself? Thinking really specifically about the tournament and the numbers that just showed up at Springfield. Kevin, it's a long question, but take your best crack at that.
It's amazing to see how many people go to our games, because the fact that we had I don't really know what you call them. The the boomsticks. That
Yeah.
just blows my mind. Makes it feel like almost like a college or NHL experience.
Yeah, it's great.
Just look out and just see like all that white with the boomsticks. Just blows my mind.
Yeah. Jack?
It's unbelievable the amount of people that you can fit in a rink that are all from one town. It's pretty crazy. It gets
Yeah.
loud in there too.
That's great. Jake?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the support wasn't there at the beginning, but once they realized how good our team was and we started getting towards the end of the season, they started showing up, and I feel like our game definitely got better when they were there.
Yeah, you're picking up off of it, right?
Yeah.
And Will, what was it like for you to step on the ice, say, out in Springfield?
It's pretty crazy seeing how far they drove, like their commitment to our team, and just how much they wanted to see us win.
It's great. Well, you guys deserve the support. You worked really hard. You should all feel very proud about what you accomplished. So I've asked these guys that preceded you who's going to win the Stanley Cup. I'll put no disclaimer in, but Kevin, who's going to win it?
Probably Bruins, I'd say.
Jack?
The Bruins, but if not the Bruins, I'm going to go with the Golden Knights.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I'm following Croft on that one. I'm definitely going with the Golden Knights if it's not the Bruins.
Taking B's, but if not, I'm going to take the Canes.
All right. All right. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for taking the time to jump up here. You've, for the seniors, great commitment. The results were there. Jack, I'm assuming you're playing baseball?
I am.
All right. I took a risk there because I didn't ask you that ahead of time.
I am.
Jack Croft made one of the best catches last year to end the ball game
And
along the
Situate.
fence, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it stands out. My neighbor says it to me all the time. He comes out and he goes, "Who's that kid who caught that ball along the fence?"
Yeah.
So I look forward to seeing you out on the diamond, and thank you for your commitment to the program. Jake, you as well. You've worked your tail off every shift,
Yeah.
and saw a lot of ice time this year.
Glad to be a part of it.
And Kevin, look forward to seeing you next year and putting down those Quackenbush-like numbers. And we'll, congratulations on a terrific year. You really stepped up as the season went on. So thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking for a great place to hang out, eat a delicious meal, and have a drink? The Jetty in Brant Rock is the place to be. The Jetty has all the makings of a great time and features live music and entertainment for you to enjoy. The Jetty. Eat, drink, chill.
All right, we're back. The REM report returns. We've brought in a fresh line of players here from the Marshfield boys varsity hockey team, coming off of a successful 22-23 campaign. And to my left is number 3, Tommy Carroll. And Tommy, to me, is all hustle all the time. And I'm happy to have you guys with us today. Tommy, thanks for joining us again.
Thanks, David. I'm here with the fast and tenacious number 16, Steve Feria.
Appreciate that. I'm here with Michael Buchanan, number 14. Big defensive presence on the ice and is able to keep the forwards on the outside.
Here with Shane Kaler, number 22. Big physical guy, a great all-around defenseman.
I'm just going to send it back to him.
Thank you. So David Snow with you here. We're glad to have these guys. I'm going to start with you, Tommy. You just had a long campaign, lots of different highlights during the season. What stands out to you about the season?
Definitely like making that run to playoffs this year. There's a lot. We're very defensive this year in terms of we didn't score a lot of goals. We had great help on the back end from our D and Mr. Quackenbush. And that helped us get so far in the playoffs, and it was really enjoyable as a team.
And I'm gonna stay with you. You got to play at Fenway Park this year. What was that like for you upon arrival, getting out on the ice? Tell me a little bit about that.
Honestly, when I first stepped out there, it was wild because you just look out and there's so much around you that you've never been on the field before, and then you're playing hockey out there too, which is also a crazy experience. I don't think I'll ever forget that.
In terms of the season itself, when you as you went along, you had wins over Duxbury, you had a tie against Hingham, and then the scrimmage against Hingham. You had big games in the Burns tournament. When you get down to the tourney itself, what stands out to you about the tournament for you, the playoffs?
I think it was definitely like after the first game, we were rolling, and then after that Franklin game, we just we were so tight together after that game, and it was we were in it to win it, and then it ended too soon. But I felt like it was a good way to go out.
We'll be back to you in a minute, but Steve, you had a great season. Picked it up along the way. Got newly blonde.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch all of you guys progress in your game. Progress. You're a hustling player. What stands out to you about the season itself?
I mean, this season, it was a really good group of guys. I think definitely one of the best teams that's been in the program for a couple of years. And I think we're all just really close, and we work really well together. And we're just able to, have fun out there and play good hockey.
And for you, when you got on the ice at Fenway or got into the makeshift locker room, what stood out to you? What will you remember about that the most?
Just stepping on the ice for the first time and just really looking around. It's an absolutely crazy experience, just a crazy environment. And just never experienced anything like before, and it was never forget that.
Michael, I'll come back to you at various times here, but Michael, you made a big step up this year watching you play. Your minutes grew as the season grew, big moments. What stands out to you about this team and the whole season?
This was definitely one of the best teams that's been in this program in a while, but definitely the closest group that's been through. We're all very, very good friends on and off the ice. I felt like that really helped us out this year.
And Shane, very similar to Michael, your season, watching from far away here, I, saw you progress. Your minutes were gained as you went along. You were on the ice for big moments. What stands out to you about the season?
I think it would definitely be how tightly knit the group was. It was we were all brothers throughout the season. I think it was also one of the hardest working groups I've ever played with. Every day, bringing work ethic, bringing the energy. I just thought it was a great team. We worked hard throughout the whole season.
What jumps out to you about playing at Fenway?
For me, it was just being in the city. Even the bus ride there, it was kind of surreal. Arriving outside of such a huge, being at Fenway, just the feeling of being there was surreal. It almost felt like a dream. Still hard for me to really believe I was there, but it was just an awesome experience.
And Michael, when you look at that, what I noticed was, you guys had to be on the move because you had the ice for an hour, right? Mm-hmm. Was it just a whirlwind? Were you able to take it in and say, wow, this is really cool while you're on the bench? Or?
Yeah, we were able to take it in. Walking out with some of my closest friends and just having this opportunity to be on Fenway Park, something I grew up watching baseball on. It was really surreal, something you really can't put words into, but it was incredible.
And so I'm going to come back to you, Steve, and then to Tommy. So when you think about next year, what are your own goals? Obviously for the team, you want to just keep progressing and getting a little further along the line. You're getting closer and closer. But for you personally, what are your goals and how will you prepare for next year?
Me personally, just want to get more goals, more assists, and just be a faster, stronger player than I was this season. Just always want to get better, every practice, every game. But I just, I hope we make it further than we did this year. And I think we're going to be just as good as a team next year as we were this year.
That's great. And what will you do to prepare for that?
To prepare for that, I'm just going to keep practicing, just doing, extra things, working out, just getting more ice time, working on my shot, just stick handling, anything I can do to, get better.
Yeah. And Tommy, how will you prepare for next year? Will it be different than you did for this year?
Not really. I think I'm just going to get back to work this summer, hopefully get my game better, and then the ultimate goal is to win a state championship next year. It would also be great to sweep the Green Cup that I've been in high school because we love beating Duxbury, and that's always a great thing to do. And hopefully the boys are ready for next year.
And I'm going to throw it back to Shane. What did you pick up from the leaders of the team that were on this earlier tonight, your captains and your senior leadership, that you can take forward into next year? And I'm going to come to all of you on that. So.
I think they were huge on definitely being inclusive throughout all classes. I feel like your incoming freshmen we had felt like they were just as much a part of the team as any of the other seniors. And I think that was definitely something that I wasn't necessarily expecting, to be such an inclusive team throughout, from freshman all the way up to senior.
Michael?
Same thing. They were very good leaders. Always helped whenever you felt like you did something wrong. They'd always help you fix your mistakes. Just great people, great leaders.
And Steve, just to mix it up a little bit, you can talk about the leadership of the folks that were here earlier, or if you want to say anything about your coaches, like what are you learning as you go through this process?
Just like learn how to like stay locked in, make sure we're not like, we're always focused, always getting ready to play. Our captains did a really good job of getting us ready before the games. We're ever like, dilly-dallying. They're just keeping us locked in, getting ready to play. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that they did.
Tommy, by next year, you're going to be the old man on this team. You've skated a lot of minutes as a varsity player. What have you picked up along the way from the leaders that have preceded you?
It's really just to work hard, and honestly, like, you gotta make your team like your best friends, like on and off the ice. The boys this year I've known for a really long time, and they've helped me along the way, and hopefully I can carry that on to the boys that are younger than me.
All right, and we're going to go to a different place. The NHL playoffs are coming up. It seemed like with the previous group, the Bruins were going to be the prevailing pick. Shane, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think's going to win it? If it isn't the Bruins, who's going to win?
I haven't seen enough of the hockey going on lately, so I'm just going to have to favor the hometown team with the Bruins. But
all right. Michael?
It's got to be the Bruins.
All right. And as I did to these other guys, if it isn't the Bruins, who is it?
I like Edmonton.
All right. Same guy.
I gotta go with the Bees, but if it can't be the Bees, it's gonna be kind of a hot take. But I'll go Toronto.
All right.
Can't be the Leafs. That's not happening.
History would tell you that.
Yeah, obviously my go-to pick's the Bruins here, but they're obviously coming out of the East no matter what. So out of the West, I'm gonna go with Edmonton too, because Connor McDavid would be the only person that could beat the Bruins.
All right. Well, guys, we look forward to what you're going to bring next year. Probably get together before the season next year, and hopefully you guys can join us here and give us your thoughts. You'll have had a whole full summer of getting ready, and congratulations on all your success this year. Like, tremendous growth from each one of you. It's a pleasure to get to watch you guys play, and thanks for all you're doing to contribute to the success of Marshfield hockey.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll bring in the next line.
Looking for a great place to hang out, eat a delicious meal, and have a drink? The Jetty in Brant Rock is the place to be. The Jetty has all the makings of a great time and features live music and entertainment for you to enjoy. The Jetty. Eat, drink, chill.
So we're in overtime here, and we've had a few shifts of students. We have one returner. We can't get enough of Brady. So we brought Brady Quackenbush back, and in between Brady and I is Coach Dan Connolly. And Dan, you're always so good about getting your players here, and you just completed your 23rd season, am I correct?
I think 23rd, 24th, I'm not sure exactly.
All right.
We won't. Yes.
Yeah. Well, in any event, very successful campaign, lots of highs that you can definitely speak to. What jumps out to you right away?
We had a great run, regular season, to go 14-0 in the league we were in, and our goals against average. I think we only gave up 8 goals in the league out of the 14 games. Testament to the goaltenders led by Brady. Also, Kevin Murphy was on here as well.
Yeah.
But a testament to the entire team as well.
Yeah.
That 14-0 in the league. Non-league big wins over Canton, who in the Division 2.
Yeah.
Braintree, another Elite 8 team in Division 1. Also beat Scituate, who was a finalist in Division 3. Tied Hingham, who's one of the top 5 teams in the state. Beat St. John Shrewsbury, another Elite 8 team in Division 1. Who had quite a good resume.
And, it would be hard not to point out, the 2 teams that are in the final. You could have turned those around, and you played 1-goal games against both of those.
Correct.
So you're so close, and I think when I asked you at the beginning of the season, briefly what the outlook was, it sounded like you were going to be committed to the defensive zone. You had strong defense. What does having a guy like the guy to your left in between the pipes do for your confidence that way?
He makes it a lot easier for the guys. They can play a little bit, freer. defensively, I think we had 9 defensemen play or 10 defensemen play at different points during the year, and all those guys can play. If they had made a mistake, Brady was there, Kevin Murphy was there, James Landry got some time in there.
Absolutely.
Did well, but Brady, I mean, his season this year was amazing. 9 shutouts, team record for shutouts in a year. I think he has 14 for his career. I'm not sure if he knows, but a couple accolades too. You know, we preach team first for us, but Brady also was recognized based upon his body of work of goals against average under 1, save percentage ungodly 95% save percentage, almost 96, but he's recognized by both the Herald and the Globe being on their super team as the top goaltender in the state. You know, it's a testament to him, his work ethic. One of the boys mentioned his work ethic. He just does sprints after practice, just focus while the Zamboni's out there going. He's out there doing some extra work, and you know, that's part of the reason he's had a great year.
Yep.
You know, he's committed to the team. He's a great leader, and he's well respected by the kids.
And if it isn't evident to anybody watching, a lot of this is impromptu. So Brady didn't know he was going to have to sit through this and have accolades thrown at him from his coach. So Brady, I'm just going to ask you, it felt like you were, whether the Needham game or the Franklin game, you were seeing beach balls out there. Can you feel it? Is it when you're feeling that you had a great season, but in those particular moments, you just feel like nothing's getting past me?
Yeah, I mean, in games like that, when you kind of get the sense that you're feeling the puck well, it definitely helps. You feel confident, but you also don't want to cross that line of getting cocky and getting out of position. So you kind of also have to stay focused, stay honed in, and just kind of focus on the game. Don't let the emotions get to you. But yeah, there's definitely games that are different than others, seeing the puck wise. But yeah, especially in the tournament, I take a lot of time before the game to get focused and get locked in so I can see the puck like I did.
Is it ritual? Do you fall kind of the same?
Yes, same exact thing every time. I'm very superstitious.
What's your main superstition?
Well, I have to listen to the same songs before every game, drink the same drink before every game, warm up the exact same way, get dressed the exact same way, stretch out on the ice the exact same way. Everything is very exact and has to be the same every time.
Let me ask you what it's like. You know, I can ask you now as somebody that's going to be graduating and moving on. What's it like to play for Dan and the coaching staff? This program is, you know, a giant in Division I, not just in the public schools, across the board. This is a big program that has a long history of winning. What's it like to play for this program and for this coach?
It's simply amazing. I mean, I think this is the best coaching staff in the state. Coach Connolly puts in so much time that other people might not see, whether it's taking notes on the other teams we play against or breaking down our film or getting us ready for practice, stuff like that. He just puts in so much time, pays attention to detail. You can tell that all the coaches really care about what they're doing and want us to get better.
Well said. Dan, you're a humble guy. If you were talking to Dan Connolly in his first or second year coaching, like what have you learned, and what do you wish someone had told you when you first started coaching?
No, I think trusting the kids. I mean, it's good this year, great this year. The kids we had, you tell them what to do, but you also trust them that they're going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Believe them. Brady, all our captains, all our seniors, all mature kids.
Yeah.
They did what they had to do to become better players in the off season. They came ready to play, and you know, I'd say trust in the kids, and you know, challenge the kids to be better, and challenge your teams to be better, and you know, go out and play the best competition you can, because that'll get you ready, or any team ready, you know, for when the playoffs come.
Yep.
And I think that's, you know, part of the reason, you know, we had success during the season and the postseason. We played some great teams.
Sure. So you can't get thrown by what comes
Correct.
up next, right?
Yeah.
You've faced the metal.
Yeah, handle the adversity, you know, get used to handling the adversity, because every game you're going to face some type of adversity. And something's not going to go your way. It's how you handle it and how you bounce back.
Yeah. So this year, a little bit different and something that you could all look forward to was the game at Fenway Park. From a coaching perspective, what was that like for you?
It was, honestly, it was just sit back and enjoy the moment. Let the kids play. It's a real simple thing. I think it was probably a little bit better that it was a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Just so we could sit back, relax, enjoy it, let the kids enjoy the moment. Just walking around Fenway underneath, in the dugout area, in the batting cage area. And you get out there, you look out, you see the green monster, you look back, and I mean, they only said 2,000 people could be in there, and I think there were more than 2,000.
I didn't realize that. There definitely was.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's that small area behind first base, but it just shows a testament to, you know, how much hockey means in this community, and that all the people came out and supported the kids. It was a cold night.
Oh, yeah.
Only there for an hour. Just thank the people that showed up that night to support these guys. And you know, just watching around and looking up at the scoreboards, looking up at the, you know, behind where the announcers are up there. It's just, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah. Anything surprise you about the park? Like anything you learned something about the park from having been there? Same for you, Brady.
Probably, honestly, is just when we got dressed was the Red Sox batting cage underneath the dugout. I know they've got some other ones, but just how small an area it was.
Right.
It's not much bigger than this. It's actually small in this room, I'd say. You know, they got two little tunnels, one tunnel in one little area, but it's tiny.
Yeah.
You know, you think a major league team right next to the dugout would have a little bit bigger area to hit. But that's probably the thing that stuck out, you know, in that regard.
How about you, Brady? You just talked about being like a ritual, you know, kind of superstitious in your preparation. Did it impact you, or were you just ready to jump out there?
Well, I mean, this game, I definitely took a little different approach. Definitely, like Coach said, it being a scrimmage helped in my mind because I obviously wanted to go out there and compete, but kind of could ease the focus a little bit and enjoy it a bit more. But yeah, I thought it was just an awesome experience. Kind of got an inside view of where the Red Sox are, which is awesome in its own. Obviously never seen a Red Sox batting cage or anything like that, so it was cool to see that, and then to be able to walk out the same dugout that they do is something I'll remember forever.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. And that's your first experience. You didn't get to go out for warm-ups, right?
Nope,
You just walk
right
out and go.
Yeah, you didn't even get to really look at the field from the dugout area.
Yeah.
You had to stay within till that hour's overhead of you. Zamboni's done, then you walk right out and you just right there, you see the bright lights.
Yeah.
And then walk to the rink and then walk around and set up and just start playing. It was a fun experience.
I thought it was great, too, that you got to dress your team manager, right?
Yeah, Johnny.
And I know he dressed for a couple of games.
Yeah, Johnny Pazurski did everything for us. Great kid, you know, another senior that, you know, he meant a lot to our program. And Johnny just got his Eagle Scout patch the other day, so a little shout out to him. Congratulations for that.
That's great. Big accomplishment.
Yep, great kid. You know, all our seniors, we had 10 of them total, including Johnny. Liam Healy, Owen Burke as well, and Jimmy Landry and Net too.
Yeah.
Great group of kids, 10 total. I mean, they meant a lot, and I think every kid said it. It's just how close those guys were.
Yeah.
You know, brought the whole team close.
You could tell. I mean, I don't know what that is, but you can tell the difference. I mentioned earlier, and want to ask you about Springfield, the trip out to Springfield in a second, but I noticed late in that game when you guys had Pope Francis back on their heels, those kids, their body language just said, get us out of here, right? Like, dump it out, get it out. So I'll take you back to that. I mean, we could talk about all the great moments, and there's a ton. And you're so good, Dan, like I'll text you with, you know, a novice's opinion on something once in a while, but just because things jump out to you when you see a kid improve, and you guys had so many guys step up this year with big moments, and you watch them get rewarded with more minutes, right? So the question in all of this is, you get off to a bit of a rough start out in Springfield, you call a timeout. What do you say to these guys?
Yeah, just settle down. I mean, we still had 38 minutes left in the game.
Right.
We drove 2.5 hours to compete, and you know, thought we started slow. There's a couple things that we went over that we just weren't paying attention to details. Just really focus, settle it down, pay attention to the details, and stop playing our game. And you know, I think they realized that, you know, there's plenty of hockey left, plenty of time left, and we started slowly getting back into it. Then we scored that first goal, make it 3-1. We literally almost scored immediately after.
Absolutely.
Teddy DeVoe had a great chance. Goalie made a save, and he had a rebound right there. Could have made it 3-2, and that I think would have exploded the building.
Yeah.
They were able to stem the tide, not let us score for a while, but I think we controlled the game.
No question.
From that point on, I know we outshot them from that point on. And we got a goal in the third, and made it 3-2. I just think we just ran out of time.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
It's one of the games I wish we were playing 17-minute periods, because I think,
course.
If we had that little extra time, I think we would have won.
Yep.
It just shows the resilience of these kids that they didn't give up.
Yep.
You're down 3-0. I mean, to a great team.
And you can't go down 4,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Three. They always say is oddly a tough lead in hockey, right?
Yeah.
Because
And,
you can't help but let up.
Yeah, and these kids battled back. They didn't give up. They didn't quit. It just shows the type of kids they are, the type of leaders like Brady, Jake Hemingway, Jake Reisman, all the seniors, Connor Merrick, what they mean. Each kid brought something different to the table.
You're right.
And, they never quit. They all played hard. They competed, and we just settled in and played well, and just unfortunately just ran out of time.
Yep. And Brady, it's always tough to talk about the things that don't go your way, right? But as a team, you've got the bus ride out there. You're getting into a frame of mind. You get out there, and Coach mentioned adversity earlier. All of a sudden, you're down, right? It's not a blame game. It's just things go your way, right? Don't go your way, and you're down 3-0. For you, is it just sticking to your game, that next shot? Like, what's going through your head at that point?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not ideal to let up 3 goals in the first half of the first period. It's not the start that we were looking for, but nothing we could have done after that would change it. So you kind of have to put it in the past. It was a smart timeout call by Coach, just telling us to all calm down. There's a lot of hockey left. Would have been very easy to let the emotions run and get angry and not come back to our game, but we settled in, and I think we did come back to our game, and we started to play well. But like Coach said, I think we just ran a little short on time.
Yeah, and it was really noticeable coming out of that timeout that, you guys did it all year long anyway. You maintain your composure. You don't try to do things you don't normally do. And for you made a couple of saves where you have to say, like, all right, remember that, because
there were quite a few of those that he made.
And so your confidence is right back. I don't know. You don't seem like a guy that loses your confidence, and there wouldn't have been a lot of moments for you like that this year. So it was really something to watch. That game, you want to talk about the wins, but that game to me was just a great high school hockey game. I mean, it was a long ride back alone, right? And I'm in my head replaying it, but it was a terrific game. And to see the looks on the Pope Francis kids at the end, they knew they got away with one, and maybe that helped them in their next 2, right?
Yeah, they ended up winning it all, and they beat Severian in the finals, and just shows how close we were.
And their dye jobs weren't nearly as good as yours.
No, nothing like ours.
They were going for that cardinal red, I think. It didn't work out that great from what I could see. So, Coach, you guys have spent a lot of time here with me today, so I want to, take it towards an end. When you think about next year, what are you thinking? Like, I know I've asked you before, and it starts immediately. You're probably way down the line on your schedule and everything like that. But what are you thinking about when you think about next year?
First off, how much we're gonna miss the seniors that are leaving.
Yep.
Losing 10 of them.
Yep.
That won't be back playing next year. That's gonna be tough to replace. But I think they left, a good foundation of what it takes to win.
Yep.
Their leadership, on the ice, off the ice, starting in the net. We're losing Brady and James Landry. But with Brady, he played the majority of the games. But he showed Kevin Murphy what it takes and how to work. And Kevin is a great student, great player. Don't want this to slight anyone else. I think we have the best goaltender in the league, bar none. Behind him, I think the Duxbury goalie is an excellent goalie, Sam Masnick.
Sure.
He's number 2. And I think Kevin Murphy is probably, in my opinion, the 3rd best goalie in the league. So I think, in goal, we're going to be good. Lamb Fulham behind him, a sophomore that practiced with us a lot. He's going to be a good goaltender as well, but Kevin's going to be the leader back there.
Yeah, which is great.
It was a good foundation, good start right there. Similar to when it transitioned from Aiden Healy to Brady. We knew we had a capable goaltender behind him, very capable.
Yeah.
And look where Brady, finished up his career. Then a defense with Michael Bakarian back. Michael's a very good player, good offensively and defensively. Shane Keeler, a standout defensive defenseman, chipped in at the end of the year. On the offensive side, but I don't think he got beat. I mean, you could testify to that. I mean,
nobody was getting by.
He was a great defensive defenseman.
Yeah.
We've got some other guys back there that saw some minutes, Joe Rotundo and Jack Kenny and Drew Dargan. They looked up to step up roles, and Joe Merrick, a freshman that saw some time too. So I think we'll be good back there. Then up front, we'll lose Jake Hemingway, Jack Croft, Owen Burke, but behind them, we have Tommy Carroll, Ryan McGlame, Cam McGettrick, they'll all be 4-year players for us next year. All had right around the high 20s for points. Cam's going to be closing in on 100 career points. Hopefully he'll get it, and Tommy and Ryan will have a shot at that too.
Yep.
And we return 9 other forwards that had saw some time
Yeah,
at some point
no
this
doubt
year.
about it.
So I think we'll be good. Steve Farrier was in here, Will Unknown. No, I'm going to forget some guys.
Yeah, of course.
Teddy
Of
DeVoe
course.
in there
Yeah,
too. And,
yeah, he had a big year.
Sammy Holtz, Brendan McLaughlin, a freshman.
Yeah.
2 other juniors this year, Matty Garland and Bennett Ewell, stepped up and played. And Ben Berry, another freshman this year that saw some time. Did I forget anybody in that group?
I think you got everyone.
I think that's, there's 12 guys that saw some time. And then we had some guys down the JV group that had some great years. But with that group, I think we went through a time. This helped us become a better team at the end of the year. We went through a time between right around Christmas till almost February, right before the last couple games, where we never had a full practice of guys.
Right.
We're always missing 2 to 3 guys, and in games as well. And it just let other guys step in and let them learn on the job and play. And it made us a better team. And then down the stretch, it made the practices better because every kid from day one to the end of the year got better, and that's what you want.
That's it. You see
Kids
it.
to get better and improve and be ready when called upon.
It's an interesting thing to watch from afar, like watch the development of the kids, and it's marked, over the course of a couple of months. I mean, you see it. You see it maybe better than anyone with the view that you have, whether it's defense or offense. Like the gains that were made this year by your sophomores and juniors, incredible from start to finish. So whatever you guys were doing, Brady, you and Jake, in the coaching staff, it all pays off. So I asked you earlier, I'm going to ask you, Coach, who's going to win last year. I asked who was going to win the Stanley Cup. A couple answers came in. Rylan McGlame said Florida, and Brady said Colorado, and you said one of those two, but you lean towards Florida. So you get a silver medal. Brady gets the gold. This year, who do you think is going to win it all?
Love to say the Bruins. Hopefully they get healthy. I know they've got a few guys banged up. If not them, I think the team they played the other day, Carolina.
Yeah.
If they're healthy too.
Yep, they've got some big injuries too. Yep.
I think those two are the 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah.
I think.
The East seems to have it.
The East is, and if you come out of the East, hopefully they don't get too banged up because I think the East teams are much better than the West teams.
Yeah.
Even though Colorado's still a very good team, I still think both of those 2 teams are better than anybody out West.
Yeah.
And the Rangers is going to be a tough out if they can.
No doubt about it. And you get the Ranger fans deep into the playoffs, it becomes a different animal down there.
Yep.
So Brady, who's going to win the Frozen Four, and why is it BU?
I mean, BU has Drew Comesso in net, draft pick who's going to Chicago. I mean, he's shown that he's capable of taking this team to the championship. Throughout the first 2 rounds, there have been some crazy scores, some teams scoring goals like 8 goals, 9 goals, but BU's only let up 2 in 2 games, and I think it's a testament to him, their defense, and I think they have to work from the D out to win, but I think, they have a great shot at it.
Yeah, you never let me down because you weren't ready for that one, but yet you were, so I appreciate that. As a BU fan, I appreciate that. And Dan, why do you think BU is going to win the Frozen Four?
I think it's going to be exciting. All 4 teams are great in their own way.
No question.
Michigan with the offense that they can put out there, all the young kids.
Yeah.
Fantilli killed it. Samoskevich who scored the game winner the other night. Yeah. Minnesota's got some unbelievable young players too. Snuggerud and Cooley. And then the back end, they got some great defensemen, Lacombe, and both teams can go. I think both teams from the East that are going to represent are built for the back end out.
Yeah.
Comesso and Peretz, along with Levi that was at Northeastern, are 2 of the best goalies. I think it's going to take defense to win. I think that's why both those teams with the goaltenders are a little bit better than.
Yep.
And then dynamically on the back end, you have Fensori and Hudson.
Yeah.
Just 2 kids that can get the puck out of any situation, up offensively. They see stuff that other defensemen don't see. They're both dynamic, and Hudson, I think he's at 48, 49 points.
Yep.
And, people thought, will he be able to do it as a smaller defenseman? He can get out of any situation, any forecheck. He can break himself. And Fensori's good. Back there, just
great
as good.
Skater.
Great skater. And they're going to miss McCarthy back there big time.
No doubt. No doubt.
But I think Gallagher and some of the other guys are good back there. And then they've got Comesso on the back end. And they have a good mix up front of young kids and old kids too.
Yeah.
Usually if you have young kids up front, you might get pushed around a little bit. They've got a good group of older kids and bigger kids too to help those younger guys.
Yeah, and they're coached by somebody who really appreciates the defensive side of the game.
Yep,
right?
and it's funny. I mean, you talk about Jay Pandolfo, played at Burlington High, MIA kid, had success at BU and was a dynamic scorer. Dynamic scorer. And then he transitioned into a defensive forward in the NHL. Just shows how adaptable he was and how he relates to the kids. And he's got himself a good coaching staff there with Joe Pereira and Kim Brandvold.
No question.
Doug Friedman. Kim Brandvold was actually an head coach at Central Catholic too. So some good connections to the MIA.
It's which is great, right? Hard to escape. I mean, there's obviously some Marshfield connections to the NHL and BU, and so it all, this is a hockey town, and you're a big part of it. And I want to congratulate you on all your success this year. I want to thank Brady for coming in and spending the time with us. It's been a pleasure to watch you play this year.
Thank
you. I know whatever you're going to do next, you're going to go off to big things. So thanks for spending time with us today.
Thank you.
Dan, you're a hockey parent. Besides being a coach, what can you say about the parents? This will be the last question, I promise you. What can you say about the parents? I've asked you about the town before, but the contributions from the parents and the support that you get from the parents.
Our group of parents, our Boosters Club, is second to none.
Yep.
All our seniors and all their parents are amazing.
Yep.
What they did, the way they supported the kids, the way they rallied everyone, the way they got everyone close together.
Yeah.
The funds they raised for these boys, and the opportunities they provided them.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I thank the parents, the Boosters organization, the community as a whole, the way they supported these guys.
Yeah.
You talked about the Springfield trip, but it started, with the 2 playoff games are amazing how packed they were at the
No doubt
bog.
about it.
And then people drive 2.5 hours to Springfield. Honestly, I mean, I couldn't see up there, but it looked like it was 2-1, 3-1 even.
No
Marshall
question.
people compared to
No
people
question.
supporting Pope Francis, and just want to thank the community as a whole of how they support these kids, and these kids notice that, and that's why we pay it forward. Try to help out as much as we can in the community, in turn, and for what they give back and support the players. It's great.
And I mentioned to Brady that I happened to see his mom leaving to go catch Brady's sister. Had a playoff game, and for hockey parents, it just never ends. Just like coaching, right? And if it isn't that, your wife's running down to Sacred Heart to see your son, so it never ends. But we'll move towards wrapping it up here. But again, Dan, thanks for your time and commitment. And Brady, best of luck to you, and thank you, everybody. Thank you to the Jetty for sponsoring the Rem Report. On behalf of Brady and Dan, this is David Snow signing off.
Looking for a great place to hang out, eat a delicious meal, and have a drink? The Jetty in Brant Rock is the place to be. The Jetty has all the makings of a great time and features live music and entertainment for you to enjoy. The Jetty. Eat, drink, chill.